I'm Jerry DuPont. I'm safety officer here at the Bristol County Radio Control Club. And we're here today putting on a little bit of a display. Unfortunately, it's a static display, but maybe next year it'll be a flying display as well, just to let people know who we are, what we do, and what we're involved in as a hobby and a sport, and hopefully to draw some attention to ourselves so we can also get some young prospective flyers.
Okay, let's go to the planes. First of all, you don't have to talk about the planes in specific, but they look pretty big. What's this scale?
These are approximately a quarter scale. Some of them are a third scale, so they're 1/3 the size of the actual airplane.
If I saw these in the air, I might, if I didn't know what I was looking at, I might think they were real, full-size planes.
Absolutely.
And do you tell me a little bit about, do you need a special license to fly these? Or
typically, no. You have to be a member of the AMA, which is the Academy of Model Aeronautics.
Okay.
And you're insured up to $2 million. You cannot be a club member unless you're an AMA member. And it is just a discipline you work up to, flying larger and larger planes. And if the field supports this sort of activity, then we, of course, do it.
Now, look, I see you have helicopters over there. These all hand-built by the owners?
No, they are pretty much the way you see them. That is the way they come through. There's probably some assembly, but there is no painting. Some of them are gas, some of them are electric powered.
Tell me a little bit about why you guys like, what's the joy about flying these? What's the thing you get out of flying?
Well, it's almost a Walter Mitty sort of a thing. You get to fly replicas, scale models of anything that actually flies today. It's a lot less expensive, and most of us do this not because we're not flying the full-size thing, but we're a hobbyist at heart. We like building, we like fabricating these things, we love putting them through their paces, and once in the air, it's a beautiful thing. It's very enjoyable. You put on an air show for yourself. I've never gotten sick from any of the maneuvers I've ever done, and quite discreetly, I've walked away from every landing I've ever made.
Where do you guys fly mostly? If people want to see you, can they see you guys do your stuff somewhere? Or?
We have a private field, but sometimes it is open to the public, especially during our fun flies.
And you let people know about that?
We let people know about that. We fly on the Brownell property, which is next to Salvador's Ice Cream on Smith Neck Road in South Dartmouth.
Yeah.
We have a field, runway, startup stands, windsock, all the necessities needed to keep this up and running.
Tell me a little about the stats on these. How fast, how high, how far can these things fly?
Any of these planes will fly virtually till they're out of sight. They have that range. We rarely let them get that far because if you lose orientation, you cannot control it. So we keep them obviously within eye shot.
In terms of speed, how fast do you think they go?
Well, most of these, it depends upon the type of model, how big it is, how heavy they are. The heavier the model, the faster they have to be flown to keep them airborne. But most of the time, they're made as light as possible so you can walk them in for landing approaches and whatever. And it's all tantamount to, again, the weight of the plane.
How, in terms of safety, what's your safety? You obviously practice safety in where you fly in terms of airspace and all that stuff.
That is correct. We have no fly zones. We do not fly over the homes of other people. And all the aircraft are checked out for any safety violations or any things that are amiss. There are range checks so that none of these planes fly out of sight. So we do a whole list of prerequisites here just to make sure that everybody and everything is safely kept in mind.
So you're always looking for new members, obviously?
Well, we have a locked membership of 35 members. That's all the members we can have in the club. We also have a waiting list, but we can only have so many people on the property at any one time.
But in terms of if a young kid is interested, I mean...
We do have youth programs where we have prospective children come up and learn to fly on simulators, and if they can progress past that, we have a club trainer and buddy boxes where we can actually get them to try their hand at it.